William has a problem with property taxes on one of his rental properties, and this may ring true to some of our listeners. It appears the property tax payment that William made never made it to the sheriff's office. So now a year or more goes beyond, and he finds out a company has bought the rights to the property to pay the taxes. And so William is now worried, I think appropriately, about losing the property. So what are his options? Are you familiar with what those options might be?
Yeah, well, first off, I used to collect those taxes. Low these many years ago. The idea is if a third party, like the bank, sent the check into the sheriff and it never was cashed and it was sent on time in the proper amounts, then that's the bank's problem. They're required to make sure the check gets there and the check's cashed. It's part of the tax service department for his mortgage. Secondly, if he sent the bill in, he should have made a check to see if that check cleared or not. If it didn't clear, then that's his notification. Hey, you need to check that out. Plus, there's like 20 reminders that the sheriff sends out that says, hey, we didn't receive a check. This is going up. This is going up. There's notices all over the place. But having said that, once the tax bill becomes delinquent, usually April, May of the following year. So let's just back up the whole timeline. A tax bill is assessed and attached on January 1st of the year for which the bill is assessed. That's how the statute reads. So the 2022 bill was assessed and attached on January 1, 2022, payable November of 2022 at a 2% discount. Face value in December, 2% penalty in January, an additional 8 in February. Then they start adding on all kinds of fees, becomes delinquent April, May of 2023. Well, it's got a year redemption before you can do anything with it. Can't sue anybody. You can't foreclose on it. Nothing like that for that 1 year. And then there's a statute of limitations of 10 years thereafter. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, unless he has some sort of claim with his mortgage company that says, hey, you need to take care of this bill, all you do is you call the folks that bought the tax bill. When you buy the tax bill, take an assignment of the lien, you have to fill out all kinds of information, among which is a working phone number. So you can just call them up. I get payoffs on these all the time. They're usually fairly quick. They will be hefty penalties. That's why you want to make sure that it wasn't something the mortgage company was supposed to pay, because they would be liable for those extra fees if they did not take care of the bill properly. If it's not a mortgage company issue, ouch, you learned an expensive lesson.
So I'm fascinated by the fact that you have all this knowledge about this, because I didn't tell you this was a question that was coming. So kudos to you, Chuck Crosby. But William, also not only for you, but for anybody who doesn't escrow the property taxes and insurance, this is the takeaway here is to what Chuck said at the beginning of this, to check to make sure that those taxes have been paid, even though you sent the check, and you're not checking to make sure that the check cleared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, they send out so many notices afterwards, unless it's going to the wrong place, and that's possible.
It is possible.
But the fact of the matter is, the state wrote themselves 4 aces. I used to say this occasionally when I was with collecting the taxes, that there's only 2 things certain in life: death and taxes. If you're alive, you need to make sure that tax bill was paid.
All right, good stuff.